Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So y'all see my new little setup right here, because I just set it up real quick, you already know. This is where I'm going to be like recording my videos during this quarantine time and before I can go back and do travel vlogs and things like that. So as you've seen in the title, today we're going to be talking about how to plan a trip, whether it's like a weekend trip or your girls trip, spring break, whatever it is. I'm going to show you how to plan a trip and things that you should keep in mind while doing that. So stay tuned. So the first thing you want to do when planning a trip is to get a journal or something to write in, or your computer, Google Docs or whatever. I like to personally write in my journal, so this is where I do all my planning and all this stuff like that. I just think it makes you more organized instead of trying to like remember everything and keep it in your head, because you could forget stuff. So I like to write things down. But the actual first thing that you want to do when you're planning a trip is decide where you want to go. So if you want to go to the beach, like look up different areas, like different beach locations, different areas like that you want to go to. If you want to go hiking, you want to look up different like mountain places, different places that are for hiking. Don't look at a place that is not where you want to go if you have something set on where you want to go. If you don't know where you want to go, my recommendation is to use this website called Skyscanner, and with Skyscanner you can see different deals on different flights. Like sometimes they'll have a flight to like say New York for $100, and it's like, wow, I can't mess up that opportunity to go to New York. So, and I don't have anywhere else I want to go, so I want to go on that trip to New York, and then you can start planning your trip from there. Things to consider when you are picking a place to fly or picking a location for your vacation. Ooh, that rhymes. You want to consider everyone that's going. If you're going by yourself, then obviously you don't have to accommodate for everyone else. But if you are going with people, make sure that you are finding a place that everyone wants to go to, as well as something that fits within everyone's budget, so someone's not just staying in the hotel the whole trip. Make sure there's things that everyone can do within everyone's price range, because it's really it helps accommodate everyone and make sure that everyone has a great time. And you also want to consider things like, are you going to fly and are you going to drive, because that is going to change whether change the type of trip that you have. Because if you drive, you have a car the whole time, you have more accommodations, whereas you fly, you have other things to consider like rental cars and transportation and things like that. The second thing that you want to do is pick a time to travel. So there are two different types of time to travel. There's peak and off-peak seasons on when to travel. So like if you go to the beach in December, that's obviously off-peak. So things are going to be a lot cheaper, first of all. There might not be as many things to do. Also, there's not going to be a lot of people there. So you want to decide where you want to go during what time. A lot of people choose to go on vacation during on-peak or during peak season, because that's where you're gonna have the most amount of things to do, even though it's more expensive. I recommend, and a lot of travelers recommend, that you travel between off-peak and peak, so there's a few less people, but there's still all the things to do, as well as things are going to be cheaper, like Airbnbs and flight prices, because that's not usually the time that people are traveling, because most people will travel during peak season. So it all depends on when you're working, when you're in school, and also what things you want to do and what things you don't want to do. Like if you want a lot of people to be around, then you're going to want to go during on-peak. But if you don't mind less people, you might want to go during off-peak. Yeah, it's all up to you. The third thing is to find affordable flights. So I like to use Skyscanner. I like to use Student Universe, Scotch Cheap Flights. This is where I look at all the different flight prices and I compare them. And it takes a long time, but really if you want a cheap flight, you should take the time to do it. I also look on Google Flights, where it just shows you like all the different airline companies and all their different prices. So I think a tip is to invest your time into looking for a cheap flight, because definitely you can waste a lot of money that you can use in other parts of your vacation if you just find a cheap flight. So you should do that. Also, a tip is to sign up for frequent flyer points, because if you're flying the same airline every time you travel, then you're gonna want frequent flyer points so you can get cheap flights. So currently I am a frequent flyer for Southwest, Delta, and American Airlines. These are the three that I fly all the time whenever I do fly, mostly. And I know that I'm collecting points so that I can use it for a free flight in the future, and it's really helpful. Number 4 is to find a great place to stay. So I'm always going to recommend Airbnbs because I just think they're so much cheaper, and obviously I'm not 21 yet, so I can't book a hotel by myself in certain places. And Airbnbs give you like a more local experience of wherever you are, so I always recommend them, as well as like they always give you accommodations, like things that you can do and different activities, like recommendations, and they're super cute, and I think they just really add to the experience. So find a great place to stay, or like a list of places to stay when you're planning a trip, because you never know like how the reservation's gonna work out when you book your flight. So if you find like a couple Airbnbs that you like, I would just go ahead and save them, so when you get your flight and know where you're going, then you can book an awesome Airbnb for your stay, and for you or you and your friends, you and Bae, whatever. Number 5. I think it's number 5, I think. So this is probably the most important part of planning for a trip, and that is budgeting for your trip. So after you know where you're going, after you have places that you want to stay, your flights, things that you want to do, all that stuff, you're going to need to budget for your trip. You're going to need to save money for your trip. So I'm going to do another video on it, because it's a whole bunch of things that you need to take into consideration. But as like a tip or something to start off with when budgeting for travel, is to make sure that you take all the prices into consideration. Like every single thing you need to account for, so that you make sure that you bring the right amount of money on your vacation. And planning a trip is easy, but you can just follow a few things to make your trip very affordable or very expensive. So you have to make sure that you're playing your cards right, and make sure that you're doing the right things, so that you can have an awesome vacation for an affordable price, because everyone loves that. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you know how to plan your trip now. Stay tuned for the budgeting a trip video that will be coming maybe like in a week or so. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.